What is going on, guys? This is now Set 42 Sports here, and today I'm going to be talking about the TCU Horned Frogs versus the Michigan Wolverines. Now, who would ever thought that TCU was going to be in the college football playoffs this year? Honestly, not me. They finally get in the college football playoffs after being hosed because they didn't go to a conference championship when they were undefeated in the BCS National Championship a few years back, when I think Alabama and LSU went, something like that. Michigan, pure dominance this year. I mean, J.J. McCarthy was just unbelievable. Blake Corum is done for the year with an injury, I believe. And I think Edwards, and they got a solid running game as well. So this game is going to be very interesting because I honestly, to my opinion, haven't really followed. I followed TCU, but I haven't really watched all their games. I do know that their quarterback is really good. The defense is okay because it's a Big 12 defense. They always have high-scoring games. So this game is going to be very interesting. TCU is really good. I'm glad that they're in. Michigan, their defense is solid as always, and then their offense is really good. Though they do tend to start out slow, but when they start rolling, they start rolling. I mean, I was honestly shocked how they destroyed Ohio State at Ohio State this year. I mean, this was just pure total shock to me. All right, so this game will be played at 4 p.m. At the Arizona State Farm Stadium, which is the Arizona Cardinals, which is probably 1 p.m. Eastern, or 1 p.m. Or actually, this probably is 4 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Anyways, it doesn't matter. All right, and then the matchup predictor has Michigan with 66.5% to TCU's 33.5% of the matchup predictor. All right, so as you guys know, and then of course the pick center has Michigan with a minus 7.5 over TCU's 7.5 above. But yeah, that's just their opinion. And let's just go ahead and go through the stats for the season leaders. Max Duggan, who is a Heisman finalist, he had a great season, a really impressive season this year, with accumulated over 239 completions to 368 attempts, 3,321 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Really, really good. All right, J.J. McCarthy went 188 to 288 completions to attempts, 2,376 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Michigan loves to run the ball a lot, and I believe that TCU loves to pass the ball a lot because in Big 12, you always like to score the most points rather than play. But that's not true. TCU will probably have a good defense. I mean, it's just the Big 12 always carries out with the high-scoring type of games. All right, Miller from TCU had a great season this year with 216 carries with 1,342 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. Blake Corum had a great season, and then he got hurt. I think he was playing with an injury in the championship, the Big Ten championship, and I think he got hurt, and he still was hurt that game, and then he finally said, I can't do it anymore for this season because I think the ankle, or he had an ACL injury, I think, or something like that. But I don't think he's playing. But so Edwards is probably going to play as a starting running back, so that will hurt them. But I still think Michigan will be good with the running game. All right, so Blake Corum this year had a great season with 247 carries to 1,463 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns. That's crazy that he or Miller did not get any mentions for the Heisman Trophy, which is crazy. All right, so TCU for Johnston with 53 receptions, 903 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. Ronnie Bell had a really great year as well. 56 receptions, 754 receptions, and 3 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. All right. Lastly, I like to go through the team stats. As you guys can see, y'all can pause the video and look for it yourself. So team stats, we have points per game, really pretty much the same. TCU averaged about 40 points with Michigan 40 points as well. Points allowed per game, TCU honestly had a good season with defense as well, only allowing 25.0 points per game. And Michigan, like I said before, their defense is always really, really good. All right, so 13.4 points allowed per game. All right, total yards for TCU, 473.0. Like I said before, Max Duggan is a really great quarterback, and their offense and Stoney Dykes had a great year with TCU. All right, so Michigan, 453.5 yards passing, 273.0, like I said, really good at passing. 210.5 for Michigan. All right, yards rushing. 200 from TCU, really good. And for Michigan's 243.0, like I said before, earlier that Michigan likes to run the ball a lot. All right, yards allowed on defense. This is where it's big for both teams. TCU allowed 385.1, not the worst, but not bad for defense. Michigan 277.1, really good as well. I'm not trying to sound biased, but like the Big Ten, usually you like to score a lot of points and throw a lot of yards for touchdowns as well. All right, so passing yards allowed, TCU not bad with 235.6 to Michigan's 191.8. So that's pretty much average for like a passing game. Yards allowed on defense, not too bad for TCU with 149.5, and then Michigan's pretty good with 85.2. All right, so TCU, they should have beaten Kansas State, but thankfully they're still in the college football playoffs. But that game was crazy. So yeah, they've had a few really close games as well with Michigan. Honestly, I still gonna think that Michigan will possibly beat TCU just because I think the defense is stronger than TCU. But even though their offense is really good, it still can be a close game. I might say Michigan with minus 10 points against TCU. Now, I don't want to sound biased. I love TCU. I love Michigan. But like I don't want to sound biased towards both schools. But if TCU is about TCU, that they can actually beat a top-tier, really great defense like Michigan's or Georgia's, then they have to show me that they can beat Michigan or beat a good defense in the college football playoffs. I'm really happy that they're finally in the playoffs because they've got screwed over the years. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this game. It's going to be very interesting, in my opinion, and it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be like in the 30s possibly, depending on how well Michigan plays on offense and how well TCU does with their offense or defense as well. I know they got a really good offense, but I'm interested to see how Michigan will play for their offense because they usually start out pretty slow. All right, guys. Now it's Set 42 Sports, and comment down below what you guys think, and I hope you guys enjoy this video as well. All right, guys. Peace out.